I am not a big fan of Mike Tyson. I almost idolized him for what he did in the ring. He was such a great fighter. But his behavior out of the ring, he needed to realize he was in the public eye, and there is a responsibility. I lived a permissive, fast, and reckless lifestyle. I hope I can serve as a warning that living this lifestyle can really lead to only one thing, and that's misery. The Tough Man contests were for 21-year-olds, but I weighed 150 pounds at 13, so I got a fake ID card and entered. My dad and uncles had given me an edge, so having a boxing background made it easier because a lot of the older guys didn't know how to fight. With my style, training is very rigorous. You're toe-to-toe, getting beat on 6 days a week for 5 or 6 weeks leading to a fight. There's no fun, no glamour. When I lost to Ray Mercer, I was young. I deserved to lose that fight because I hadn't learned how to cover all the angles in preparation. I was immature. People think I'm crazy, and it's been written in the papers that I'm off my rocker. I cut my hand swimming in the Caribbean, it gets infected, and Channel 9 is calling me saying they heard rumors I cut my fingers off. I just want to pursue my dream, that is to fight. That is what God put me here to do. He didn't put me here to be a doctor or a lawyer. He put me here to fight. I didn't have the greatest equipment or the greatest facilities. I would see people with new shoes and better cars. I knew what I wanted and what I had to do to get what I wanted. I became a very Spartan person at a young age because of that. I realized that there's a whole generation of kids out there like me who are totally disregarding the moral values taught to us by our parents. To all my young fans out there, I ask that you no longer consider me a role model. See me as an individual who had the opportunity to be a role model but blew it. Blew it with irresponsible, irrational, immature decisions. HIV changed my life, but I think I've accepted it. I don't even think about it unless someone brings it up. It took me a while to learn the public eye was on me. I'm happy in Oklahoma. It's closer to family. Nobody expects anything of you there. I don't believe in past lifetimes, but if there was one, I had to be a gladiator. I have had a couple of situations where I wasn't the strongest person in the world. I thought I was bulletproof, and I'm not. My life has been very much a roller coaster ride. Not just the boxing part, not just the acting part, just my childhood, what I was into at a young age and the things I was exposed to, it's just very abnormal. I'll tell you this, Tommy Morrison has a tattoo of Elvis Presley on his butt, he likes to hunt and fish, and his favorite movie is Goodfellas. I would walk into a room, and people would be like, hide the children. Here comes the guy with AIDS. That's very demeaning, and it really hurts your spirit. I just turned 27 years old, and there are mornings where my knees and ankles really hurt. I hurt all over. I would hate to be me when I'm 35 years old. I'll be a basket case, but I will have a lot of memories. I was the first player at J to play 4 years varsity. As a frosh, I was a punter. From my soph through senior years, I started as a linebacker and tight end and was all-state as a senior. I thought I had the potential to be a better fighter than I'd ever be a football player. Besides, it was something my father always wanted me to do. He told me since I was a little kid I was a born fighter. Friendships can go only so far. I saw a chance to make the 1988 Olympic boxing team and forgot all about football. I don't ever think in terms of losing. That's not even a possibility. I've been beaten once, and I don't ever want to experience that again. Very few fighters get a chance to come back. I think there's a lot of people out there who, if George Foreman had to get beat, I'm the one fighter they would like to see beat him. I've made a lot of mistakes in my life. Ever since I was a kid, I've been confident of coming out on top in a brawl, but the ring is a lot different from a bar. That's been my problem. There's a family tradition of fighting in the Kansas City Golden Gloves. My older brother, Tim, did, and so did my father's 2 youngest brothers, Trent and Troy. They all won the Golden Gloves. So when my mother asked me to keep the tradition going, I did. People thought I was crazy for fighting Michael Bent. I would welcome a Mike Tyson fight with open arms. The rush you get from competing in front of the whole world, there's nothing like it. There's nothing more intimidating than crawling into a ring. Boy, I wouldn't want to live in LA. When I was 19, my heart wasn't in it. I hated training. My life out of the ring caught up with me. I know one thing, Ray Mercer is not going down from a head punch. I think he's got one of the best chins in the game. The fact that there's never been a single documented case in the history of this planet of anyone ever contracting HIV in the ring seems to me like a leg perfectly strong enough to stand on in terms of a lawsuit. People need to cut me a break. You don't knock Ray Mercer out with 1 or 2 shots. You have to make him quit. I like fighting people that scare me a little bit. People that scare me seem to motivate me, and when you motivate me, you get the best performance out of me. It's a big move from the tough man circuit to professional boxing. When I turned pro, I had to play catch-up and was fighting almost twice a month until I had more than 20 fights under my belt. Everyone wants to see the heavyweight division unified. It'll happen. I was one of the most popular fighters of my era. I've always been painted as this party animal. I boxed until I got interested in other things. My first car, girls. The one thing that made me somewhat of an animal is I didn't have anything growing up. Boxing is a family tradition. The last 5 generations down to my dad have been fighters. Visit our website for more quotes, quoting.com.